Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to our base camp on the roof. Yes, we are still in lockdown. And if I just suddenly disappear, it's because I'm holding on to the umbrella and the wind's just taking it off.
Yeah, so sorry about the flappy umbrella noise. Yes, we are still in lockdown in Spain, and we thought we'd just update you on the situation here. Basically,
not that much has changed really.
No.
From last Saturday, we were allowed out for 1 hour's exercise together, which was amazing.
Yeah, that's been quite nice to be able to go down by the river and walk around the village a bit more rather than just 100 metres from the house or whatever it was. We've also had a lovely walk up to the castle there, which is not far away, so we can spend our hour up there if we want to.
So it's been really nice going out together. The dogs are loving a little bit of freedom. It makes a huge difference to them.
Yeah, for them to just go off their leads, you know, they're knackered by the time they get back. And as we mentioned before, because our village is smaller than 5,000 inhabitants, we can go out any time of the day that we choose.
But to be fair, it's getting pretty hot now, so we're generally going out quite early in the morning or late in the evening.
Yeah, it's too hot during the day. But yeah, anyway, so what is going to change is from Monday, tomorrow, it's going into phase 1, isn't it? Well, most of Spain. Yeah. Most of Spain is going into phase 1.
So the worst hit areas aren't changing. They'll still be in phase 0. So that's like Madrid, Catalonia. Actually, Malaga and Granada province, which are right next to us. Luckily, we're in Cadiz.
Cadiz, yeah. Basically, obviously, they've got more cases there. So they're still staying in strict lockdown kind of thing, whereas we're easing slightly. So the rest of Spain, apart from the place we just mentioned, are kind of going into phase 1, which is...
But phase 1, yeah, before it was supposed to be 30% of bars and restaurants, terraces only, and then shops opening, and now that's jumped straight up to 50%. And another thing, you can meet with people up to 10 in a group, which seems a bit crazy and a bit of a jump.
What we understand is, so that the restaurant or the bar, as long as it's got a terrace, it can open and people will just be having meals and whatnot and drinks on the terrace, on the outside area, only up to 50% capacity.
Now we've just been allowed out together, that's 2 people, and then all of a sudden it's going to be 10.
Yeah.
We're not going to be rushing out. We're not going to be rushing out to go and have a drink or a bit of tapas or something.
So we'll see. I mean, we understand, you need to open these bars and restaurants, get the economy moving again over here for sure. It's been all locked down for 2 months. So totally. So I mean, let's just hope it goes well and carries on.
Yeah, as long as everyone's careful and keeps the social distancing as much as they can. And they are very serious here. Everyone's wearing masks, even in their cars.
Gloves all the
Gloves
time.
And everything. So yeah, as long as everyone's... Hold on, sorry. Our dog's just climbing on the roof next door looking for geckos.
Dizzee is so naughty. He's like a cat. He runs across the roofs here in Spain, so we have to keep an eye on him.
No fear whatsoever.
So that's kind of where we're at. I think certain shops will be opening as well tomorrow or on Monday. And a few other things, restrictions are lifted. A lot of people have gone back to work now, haven't they? Different things, and more so on Monday again.
But for us really, we just want to be able to get in Vinny and drive to the coast just for a change of scenery really. That would be the ideal. We're not so bothered about bars and restaurants. Yeah, unfortunately I think it's going to be quite a while before we can actually drive anywhere. But at least we can go down to the van. Yeah,
just to kind of check on him and make sure he's all right, make sure he's not getting too lonely down here on his own. So I've been coming down here daily. Today I'm having a cup of tea down here. Now I did cheat because I did bring the hot water from the house in the electric kettle rather than boiling one down here. Just trying to save the gas. So I'm down here today and I'm very excited. It's quite hot in the van, so I'm not going to stay for long, but this is a bit sad. I've brought down here my new Omnia oven. I've wanted one of these for ages and I finally got one for my birthday. Check this little beauty out. Now if you don't know what this is, it's an Omni oven, stovetop oven, and they are absolutely brilliant apparently. I have done one little recipe in it already. Yes, the famous banana bread. I actually made a banana and prune bread with walnuts and it worked out really well, so I'm really happy to try out lots of different recipes in this. So I brought this down here today, like I said, a little bit sad, just to see what it looks like in Vinny, because at the end of the day it is for the van, isn't it? So let's have a look. Colour coded, it's good because it's red. We've got the red kettle and look at that, it just fits on there perfectly with the kettle. So I think we'll have to try and do a little something or other in this vlog, cooking there, not in here, we'll do it back at the house, to show you how good this actually is. So as you can see, the boys are just so relaxed. As soon as they come in the van, we've been for a little walk before we came here, and then they get in and they're just completely chill. Charlie's straight down there on the floor, they just love it in here, as we do. Now we've also put one of our little sockets up. The only thing with that, we didn't realise that there was the little red lights, the little LED light things, and I don't know if that's going to sort of use unnecessary power, and it sort of stays on the whole time, like you close the thing, so it's a bit pointless, which is a bit annoying. We've also got this, which we mentioned before, this 3-1, which is going to go in the seat down there, but we need some power tools for that, like a drill and stuff, and probably shouldn't do that at the moment. Yeah, so it is nice to be able to come down here and do little bits, like I said, have a cup of tea, like on a daily basis, because I sort of walk past here on the way to the supermarket as well, so it's kind of on our little sort of dog walk, so it's all good. Vinny's doing all right.
So how lucky is Sarah? Not only did she get a Hoover for her birthday last week, she also got this Omni oven.
See, that just shows, doesn't it, the older you get, the more sort of practical type things you get. No, I'm really happy. I'm so happy with this. I mean, I've only done the banana bread so far, and now we're about to try something else, a little bit different. I managed to pick up some of this lovely fresh rosemary on the walk this morning with the dogs. So I'm going to make some garlic and rosemary roast potatoes now in the Omni oven. Yeah, so basically we're just going to make really simple spuds. So I've got the oil hot first in the pan, then put the potatoes in, and then I'm just going to chuck some garlic and some of this fresh rosemary that I've cut up very small. Just going to sprinkle that all the way around, close the lid and hope for the best. I've kind of just shimmied these potatoes around a bit so they've all got a little covering of olive oil on them, and then we'll see how the little stove top oven roasts potatoes. Now let me just say, I am not just dropping the Ridge Monkey. I'm still going to totally be using that a lot, but obviously it's nice to have another thing to experiment and play with, isn't it?
Sarah's banana bread was absolutely amazing. It's good in the Ridge Monkey, really good in the Ridge Monkey, but it's kind of like denser, like thicker, heavier.
Well, I think we should have a little piece now. I quite fancy a coffee and a little piece of banana bread. I don't know about you. These are so good. Nick's been making me these over the last the last week, since it's got really hot and you don't want a hot coffee. It's just so yummy. And here's the banana bread. We've already eaten half of it. And you can see it cooks really well. It's kind of like this on the bottom and then this on the top, but it's all kind of really cooked and really quite yummy. Yeah, so I mean it worked really well. Right, well I am feeling so much better and more refreshed after this beautiful iced coffee, and while we're waiting for our little roasties to do in the Omnia oven, which smell absolutely delicious by the way, we're going to pop over to the pool where Nick is waiting for question time.
Hey guys, just chilling with me little chicks by the pool. What pool wouldn't be complete without some little rubber duckies? Hey Charlie, what's this? Ducky? Anyway, we have a few questions left that we didn't get round to answering on the live feed, so we're going to answer those for you now.
Question number 1 for Nikki. 2 bods, 1 van has asked, how is your juggling going?
Let's find out, shall we? Here we go. You got 3 little duckies here. In a pool, it's not easy to do in a pool. Yeah, to be honest, I haven't done it very often because there's a strong chance that I may throw one of the balls over the side of the terrace. So yeah, I get very frustrated, so about 3 or 4 times.
I'm trying to egg him to continue to do so because I actually thought he was really good for a beginner. But yes, he might have to continue to practice with his little rubber ducks. We've got another question for Nick, and it's tell us the story behind your necklace. And that question is from Jane Willis.
I think someone else asked, what are they made of? I've had these since I was 18. They have changed a few times. And these I bought in China, and apparently they're sandalwood, which is supposed to be amazing because everyone was trying to sell us sandalwood. But yeah, I feel naked without them, so I have to wear them all the time. As soon as I take them off, it just feels really strange.
And is there any like spiritual thing or you know, anything behind that? Like
Nope.
nope.
None at all.
He just likes them, and he wears them all the time, day and night, in the shower. He's always got his little lucky beads on, so he's always touching wood.
That's the reason for them. Life with Herbs asked, do we ever have any blazing rows?
Nope.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
We do.
When?
All the time.
When's the last time we had a row?
Yesterday.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
You liar!
No, we don't actually. We don't. We hardly ever have rows. We have kind of disagreements, and that result in basically us not speaking
For about a minute.
and then we're just like, oh god, there's no one else around. What are we going to do? We can't ignore each other. The whole
And then we just laugh or something. We really don't. We're quite lucky like that.
Yeah, there's no point, is there? As long as you let her get her own way, then it's fine, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the best thing to do, isn't it? And then you don't have a row. Jessie C has asked, how are our vegetables doing? And yes, we did mention that we're going to try and grow a few vegetables. This is how they're doing. So we have got some little sprouts coming through, a couple of tomatoes and a couple of peppers. The peppers are really tiny because they take longer to grow. They're like red capsicums. And yeah, so they've come through. We've got some sprouts, and then we've got the tomatoes. The strawberries didn't take, and the rocket, I had some rocket seeds, but they must have been old because they didn't take either. But I think if we can grow a few tomatoes and red peppers, then we'll be really happy.
Elizabeth Bretney asks, would Sarah let me cut her hair?
Absolutely no. Next question. No, actually, he has actually cut my dreads a little bit before.
Because it's really easy. You just sort of
Get
measure,
her.
snip, snip.
Basically just hack it off. So
Can't
yeah,
go
I
wrong.
suppose he has actually cut my hair before.
But not shave it all off, no chance. Otherwise, those knives will be coming out. Kuili Leola, sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly, asked, what are 2 positive things about lockdown? Well, although it's devastating what's happening in the world and we are missing our freedom, we feel there are quite a few positives really. For one, it just gives us, it's kind of like a holiday for us because our normal life is traveling, filming, editing, moving on, traveling, you know, we're just constantly on the go. We want to see as much as possible in the time we have, and we want to show you as much as possible and film everything, so we're really busy. So this has given us a chance to just like pause. And you know, when would we be sat in a pool just chilling in the sun, or you know, just relaxing a little bit more? So yeah, it gives us a chance to just pause and enjoy, you know, enjoy a bit of our house.
Yeah,
we're never in our house.
And doing like creative things that we haven't had time to do before. I mean, we're working on a new sort of website now as well, which we wouldn't have had time to do before.
The cookbook we'd never get round to doing if it wasn't for this.
So it's just the time to kind of pause, get the things done that you've wanted to do for a long time, never had the chance, and
use things that we never used. All our camping setup, we'd never use that because we've got the van now. Like telescope we've got here. You know, we've got a little monoculars to spine out.
And now we've got
Places
sup boards.
Mm.
We're probably not going to use. We probably wouldn't have used this for, you know, well, not
What
we'd
it's
use the
supposed
sup-
to be used
We would
for.
be using the sup boards this year, won't we?
Yeah.
We wouldn't have used this at all. And now look at us, we're in it every single day. So there is positives. It's not all sort of down and out, is it?
Yeah. So moving on. Next question from
Colin Bennett, and he has asked if we would take the tunnel or a ferry when we come to the UK. Tunnel, yes, it's just so much easier for us with the dogs. We don't have to leave them at any time. We just jump on that tunnel and we'll be in the UK and we can stay in the van. So I think it's probably works out a little bit more. I'm not too sure on prices, but yeah, 100% will be coming on the tunnel.
Giselle Caratola asks, what's our favourite vegetable?
Well, you probably know mine because I'm always going on about it. It has to be broccoli, but I do love garlic. Is garlic a vegetable? Of course it is. So yes, garlic
Yeah.
is probably. I mean, I'm just.
I think garlic definitely, because
we have it in every
everything.
meal pretty much, you
Yeah.
know. And yeah, so mine would be broccoli. What's your favourite vegetable? Or
Uh,
yours is probably those little.
Garlic, broad beans, yes.
Yes.
Broad beans, love little broad beans, especially when you find them in the wild, foraging, pick some broad beans, just eat them straight out the pod.
Yeah. Yeah,
Love it.
I mean, you don't usually find in the wild. I think you mean when you go picking them from farmers' fields.
Okay, yeah, that'll be it. Another question from Jane Willis, really good one. What would we do with 10 grand?
Oh.
Well, I'd have to say we'd improve on all our equipment,
Yeah.
because you may or may not have noticed we don't have the top of the range anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'd improve.
I think that would be good to be able to upgrade everything, including the laptop, so it'd be more efficient for editing the vlogs and
much
be
less frustrating. Yeah.
be quicker, and definitely some nice sort of new camera equipment to improve the vlogs and make them a bit better too.
Yeah,
we
an
would-
SLR we could actually film with some, you know, decent lenses.
I think we'd definitely put it into the channel and our filmmaking. Probably wouldn't put it into a new van because we just love Vinny so much and we want to keep him forever.
And finally, Jolly Fresh asks, have we had any scary moments camping? And Sue and Paul Brown asks, have we had any tent disasters? So if we're talking about scary moments camping in Vinny, I'd say not really. Oh, storms, yeah.
Storms.
We've had some crazy storms, and in Croatia when it was really, really windy,
Yeah,
and the van was rocking, felt like it was going to tip over.
And we thought we were going to go off the cliffside.
Yeah.
That wasn't, yeah. I mean, camping, so tent disasters, we'll move on to that question.
Well, that's to do with storms as well.
Yeah, well, we haven't actually had any tent disasters in this tent, on this camp, apart from it's rained a few times. We've had to sort of panic and pack up really quick and get our rugs and stuff in.
It's been a little bit windy as well. But when we're travelling in Asia, we had a little tent we bought from Thailand, which wasn't waterproof, just one layer, and 2 times we used it.
Yeah, basically we were backpacking in Asia, and then we went from really cheap countries like Thailand and we went to Singapore, and now Singapore is a lot more expensive, so we stayed in a kind of hostel there, and it was one night, and we thought it's really expensive, so we had a little tent with us, really small, like just for us both to fit in, and we said, well, let's just camp in the tent, because there was a large area where you could camp for free, wasn't it?
So basically there was a big park right on the seafront, really nice. We camped there, the weather looked alright, and then in the middle of the night a massive storm came in, torrential rain, lightning and everything. We were going to stick it out, but then it started leaking the tent. It wasn't waterproof.
And we had
huddled.
everything with us, all of our backpacks full of obviously our cameras and everything else, and all of our clothes, and we were just in this little tent.
Huddled with like a little poncho, waterproof poncho over us in the centre, and then drips were coming all around. It was like a waterbed
It was
underneath.
really windy, and we had to just abandon the tent. We had to just leave it there, and then we had to put a poncho over us and just run. And we ended up there was a 24-hour McDonald's,
yeah.
and we had to take shelter. So we spent the whole night in this 24-hour McDonald's, didn't we?
Yeah.
Instead.
And then a similar thing in Australia. Once right at the end of our trip, when we finally sold the van,
We hired a car.
we hired a car and we were
had
driving
tent.
back, and it was raining again. The tent wasn't waterproof. Wasn't expecting the rain, and then it came, and the tent nearly got,
washed away. We again had to abandon the tent and
Water
sleep
was
in the car
underneath.
and move the car to a safe place. So a couple of tent disasters, but only like stormy, crazy weather where we shouldn't have been in the tent.
But they made great
disasters.
stories, don't they?
It was a crazy moment.
And finally, on the subject of tents, Yes.
Yes, right. So this isn't really a question. This is kind of we need to apologise because Fat Fingers Crafting wrote to us in the live feed and said that she fell off her roof trying to camp in her tent.
Sorry.
Trying to copy us. We presume she had a roof like this, so it didn't really work.
Luckily, it was a bungalow, though, I think. So she, you know.
And hopefully, this was a joke. If it wasn't, then we're really sorry. And we should have put one of those little things in the corner.
Do not try this at home. So sorry. Hope you're okay. So anyway, yeah, I think that's all the questions. There's a few we haven't answered, but we are going to be making videos addressing some of those, the subject of some of those questions in the coming weeks.
But right now, I think the potatoes definitely smell like they're ready. They
smell good. They smell good. Oh, look at those.
They do actually look really good, don't they? So there we go. You can do roasties in this pan. That's been on for about half an hour on like a medium heat, but they look all right, don't they? What's the matter?
Sorry, I'm just looking at that little dog there. He's worn out after chasing geckos all afternoon.
And where's the other one? Let's see if we can find the other one. Can anyone see Charlie? He's got himself a proper good little spot in there, the back of the money plants. A nice cool little spot to hide away, and you can't even see him unless you go right down on the floor.
Look at those beauties. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, salt and pepper. We'll add salt and pepper. So yeah, I'm looking forward to giving this little stovetop oven a proper test out, but as you can see, I think it's going to be quite good. We will put a link in the description with all of our other links, so you can take a look at this. And I think we will be using it a lot, won't we?
Definitely.
I'm going to practice loads while we're in lockdown, all these different recipes, and then obviously when we're back in the van, we'll just be like, yeah. So it's quite exciting.
Get really chubby now, and there will be a section in the cookbook for the Omni oven now.
Yes, now we're going to have to do Omni oven and Ridge Monkey section,
as well as cocktails.
This cookbook's getting bigger and bigger, isn't it?
It's going to be the Bible of all cooking books.
The Bible of van life cooking. Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining in with us for this little update kind of video. And yes, we will see you really soon in another fun vlog.
Fun for us. Anyway,
hopefully fun for you too.
Okay. Take care, guys. See you soon.
Bye. So it's all... Oh. Someone's playing a stereo, but just wait a sec. Okay, it stopped. Where were we? Thanks so much for... Anyway, guys, thanks so much for joining in.
God, you can't speak.